Welcome to The Last Calm Word. Let's get started with today's story. My name is Charlie. I am 36 and a pilot. I have spent most of my adult life in the air. Calm, quiet, predictable. That is probably why I fell for Margaret. She was chaos wrapped in confidence. A wedding planner of all things, she knew how to sell a dream and make you think it was real. We were together for 3 years before I proposed. She said yes in front of a waterfall in Maui. Picture perfect. The wedding was the kind of spectacle she lived for. She handled every detail as if it were a project for a client. Except it was not. It was our life. My bank account was the only thing that noticed it. Still, I did not care. The honeymoon was in Italy. We did not do much tourist stuff. We just stayed in, cooked, and drank wine. For a while, it felt like I was living in a postcard. But by the flight home, something shifted. She was quiet. Not mad. Just somewhere else. She kept checking her phone when she thought I was not looking. Smiled at texts she did not share with me. 2 weeks later, I walked into our kitchen for a glass of water. Her phone lit up on the counter. I did not mean to look. It just happened. The name on the screen was Mike. I knew him. Mike was her ex from college. The one she swore was ancient history. The message read, "I miss the way you used to look at me." She walked in a second later and saw me staring at the screen. I asked Mike. Huh. She grabbed the phone fast. Too fast. It is nothing. Does not look like. It is just... He reached out. I did not ask him to. I stared at her for a long moment. Did you text him first? She hesitated. And right there, 2 weeks after our wedding, I knew I had married a liar. I did not press her that night. The next morning, I left for a short haul flight to Denver and back. The whole time I replayed that hesitation, Margaret always had answers. That night, she did not. 2 days later, we were at a mutual friend's birthday dinner. Midway through dessert, our friend Talia, tipsy, oversharing, leaned toward Margaret and said, "So, did you and Mike end up meeting last week? Or did he flake again?" Margaret's fork stopped halfway to her mouth. I did not blink. She laughed it off. "Oh yeah, I ran into him. Total accident. Just coffee." Talia kept going. "God, I still remember how obsessed you were with him in college. I told Aaron I would feel bad for Charlie if Mike ever came back around. People laughed. I did not." Margaret reached under the table and touched my leg like that would undo the moment. I smiled for show, said nothing. That night at home, I asked, "So Mike did not just reach out. You met up with him." I did not lie. I just did not think it mattered. "It was one coffee before or after he texted you that he missed how you looked at him." She did not answer right away. "I did not plan it," she said. "It just happened. He is going through a breakup. It was not romantic." I dried my hands. "Did you tell him you are married now?" Another pause. "Of course I did." I nodded. I did not believe her. The next day, she told me she was going to a weekend retreat with a few girls from work. "Spa trip," she said. "Out in the valley. Phones off. Girl time." "Which girls?" "You do not know them," she said quickly. "From the newer teams." "Right." That Friday, I waited until she left, then grabbed my keys and followed her. She did not drive toward wine country. She drove straight into the city and parked in front of the Carril Hotel. I parked across the street, engine off, eyes locked on the Carril's front entrance. She walked in at 6:08 p.m. alone. Just Margaret, in jeans, coat, and heels she had not worn since the wedding. At 6:22, he arrived. Mike, tall, smug, quite the same as I'd seen in old photos buried in her hard drive. He walked in with the confidence of a man who had done this before. I moved to the hotel lobby, keeping a distance. I ordered a coffee at the bar just to blend in. 3 minutes later, they met near the elevators. No hugs, just straight into a kiss. Not playful, not nervous, hungry. She touched his chest and he reached into his coat, pulled out a room key. I stood up and took one photo on my phone, Mike's hand on the small of her back, her wedding ring visible as she pressed the elevator button. That was all I needed. I walked across the lobby and said her name, Margaret. She turned like she had heard a gunshot. Mike paused mid-step, glancing between us. She blinked. "Charlie, spa weekend, huh?" I said, calm and measured. "Charlie, I can explain." "I am sure you can," I said, cutting her off. "Let me guess. It just happened. You were tired, vulnerable, needed someone to make you feel seen." Her lips parted, but no sound came out. I looked at Mike. "You are the X figures." He opened his mouth to speak. I did not let him. "Do not bother. This is not about you." I turned back to Margaret. "You kept your ring on," I said. "Even wore it to your little reunion here. That is not confusion. That is commitment to the lie. Can we talk?" She whispered. "Not here." Tears welled up. "Please. I trusted you. I defended you. And you were upstairs planning this while I was learning how to be your husband." She said it barely audible. "I am sorry." I looked her dead in the eye. "I will let the lawyer know You have officially checked out. I walked out before the elevator doors even closed. When I got home, I opened her laptop and started pulling records. Her texts, cloud backups. She had backed up entire albums. One of them was called Madrid. The dates were from 3 weeks before our wedding. They had been talking, reconnecting while we were picking out wedding bands. I labeled everything, organized the evidence. I was not out for revenge. I wanted facts. I was done playing husband. Now, I was documenting like a prosecutor. She did not come home that night, did not text, did not call. The silence did not hurt. It clarified. I spent the next day locking things down, pulled my name off anything joint, transferred the savings into a personal account, called my lawyer and scheduled a meeting. At 6:00 p.m., I heard the front door open. No knock, no call ahead. She walked in slowly. "Can we talk?" she asked, her voice thin, like she had spent the night crying. I did not answer. I just sat at the kitchen table. She sat across from me without being invited. "Charlie, I messed up. I do not know what I was thinking. I was scared. Everything happened so fast. You had choices. I said you chose him. It was not like that. You kissed him in the lobby. You took his room key. That is not a maybe." She blinked. "I did not mean to hurt you, but you did. You did not just hurt me. You humiliated me in public with proof." I turned the folder toward her. Photos, screenshots, printouts of texts, with timestamps going back to a week before our wedding. She did not even touch it, just whispered, "What do you want me to say?" "I do not want you to say anything. I want you to leave." Her eyes widened. "Charlie, please. We are married." "No. We had a wedding. You broke the marriage the second you let him take off your coat." "I made a mistake," she said, standing. "But it was one night. You were planning that night while I was writing my vows." Tears again. "I do not want it to end like this." "Then you should not have started it like that." She stepped forward like she was going to touch me. I stood and backed away. "This is not a pause, Margaret. It is a full stop." She did not say another word, just turned, walked up the stairs, and quietly packed. I sat at the kitchen table still. She came back down 15 minutes later, a carry-on slung over one shoulder. She did not argue, did not say goodbye. The door closed behind her, like it meant it. She was gone, but the wreckage stayed. The silence clung to everything. By Tuesday, people started picking sides. Some mutuals went quiet. A few reached out. Her friend Lena called. "I did not know she would actually go through with it," she said. I told her not to meet him. She said she just wanted closure. I did not reply. "She's not thinking straight," she said. "She thought clearly enough to book a suite," I said. Then I hung up. The worst part, I kept learning new things. More layers of betrayal, like the truth was peeling back one insult at a time. Thursday morning, I got a message on Facebook from someone named Jesse. I did not recognize the name. "Hi. I do not know you personally, but I think your wife has been seeing my fiancé, Mike. I found your info through an old tagged photo on Margaret's profile. I called her." Jesse's voice was too calm for what she was about to say. "I am 6 months pregnant. Mike and I were supposed to get married in October." I did not say anything. "I checked his devices last week. Found messages from your wife. Some are recent, some not so much. She has been talking to him for months. Then she sent screenshots. If I asked you not to let me go this time, would you?" Margaret has asked in one of the messages. "I never wanted to," Mike replied. She followed with this one. "I will say yes, even if I am already married by then." Dated a few days before our wedding. I stared at that screen for a long time. Jesse said, "I thought you should know. You are not alone." That same night, Margaret called. Did not leave a message. Then she called again. The fourth time, I let it ring until voicemail kicked in. "Charlie, I do not even know where to begin. He lied to me. All of it. He is still with someone else. He used me. I was so stupid. Please, can we talk? I will do anything." I saved it. A week later, I got an email from my company's executive team. The subject line read, "International Assignment Opportunity. Urgent response requested." They were expanding an international cargo fleet based in Singapore. Big deal. Bigger salary. It was a full relocation package. 2-year minimum. I did not hesitate. I said yes. 2 days later, my phone buzzed. An unknown number. I almost ignored it. Then I picked up. "Charlie." The last voice I wanted to hear. I hung up. She texted immediately. "I heard you are moving. Can we please meet before you leave?" I did not reply. Next week was my going away party. My crew rented out a rooftop bar downtown. Cold beers, farewell speeches. Then Kyle, my co-pilot and closest friend, came up to me and said, "Someone is there to meet you." I turned. Margaret, walking in like she belonged there. Tight black dress, hair curled, makeup flawless. The whole place turned. People whispered. She came up fast. I heard about the party through someone at the office. I did not come to ruin it. I swear I just needed one chance to say what I could not say before. She looked up at me, eyes wet, voice shaking. I did not say anything, just stood there. Mike lied. Everything was fake. He was still engaged. He told me I was his world, and then blocked me when she found out. I destroyed the only real thing I ever had, and I know that now. I nodded slowly. Do you? She nodded back, desperate. I have been going to therapy. I have cut ties with everyone who encouraged it. I was confused and selfish, and I thought love meant feeling alive. But it was you. You were real. The rooftop was silent. I leaned in close, whispered it right into her ear. The woman I married does not exist anymore. And the one standing here. I do not know her. Her lips trembled. Please, Charlie. I said it without blinking. You already had a chance. It came with a ring. She flinched, eyes welled up. I made a mistake. No. I said you made a decision. She stood there frozen, drowning in silence. I walked away. Margaret left 10 minutes later alone. My flight to Singapore was early. 6:10 m. I got to the airport just after 4. It was still dark. I had not checked in yet. I was just standing there watching the doors, ready. Then I saw her. She spotted me and started walking fast. Charlie, she said, breathless. Wait, I did not. She stepped in front of me. Please, I just need 5 minutes. Behind her, someone stepped out of the shadows. Her father, Frank. He looked like a man who was just tired. He nodded at me quietly. I nodded back. I bought a ticket, she said. Not to chase you, just to be near you. I wanted to prove I am serious. I did not answer. She pulled a small photo album out of her bag. Our wedding, the honeymoon, I know I messed up. I know I do not deserve another chance, but I had to show you I remember what we had. I looked at the album, then her. I remember what we had too, I said. And I remember what you did to it. She took a shaky breath. Real love is worth fighting for. I stepped closer, voice low and steady. Real love does not have to be chased through airports. It does not ask for forgiveness after hotel rooms and lies. It shows up the first time. She stared at me. I looked her dead in the eye and said, The divorce is already in motion. My lawyer will be in touch. Frank stepped forward and took her suitcase. You done embarrassing yourself? He said softly. She did not answer. I turned and walked to security. At the gate, I looked back once. She was still standing there, still speechless. The boarding doors opened, and I walked into the rest of my life. It has been a few months since I left. I sold the house last week. The buyer got the keys, the title was signed, and the chapter closed. Margaret moved back in with her parents. She is in therapy, trying to find herself in the ruins. And me, I started over. New city, new life, and for the first time, no baggage. Thank you so much for watching till the end. Wishing you all the best. Stay healthy and take care.